So today I'm going to be covering a new season of 90 Day Fiance. This is 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. We're season 2, episode 1. I'm going to give this season a shot. I kind of gave up on last season. Plus I also went on vacation last time because I felt like it was ridiculous. Like, the people on the show were ridiculous, and I don't like watching the show when I know most people are going to break up, because that defeats the purpose. I felt like the older seasons of 90 Day Fiance were actually real couples and real people, because they are either still together till this day or they broke up much later, versus breaking up during the whole season. So, like, why are we calling this 90 Day Fiance? Why is there fiance involved when you've broken up? So with this season, we have 6 couples. We're introduced to 4. I'm gonna have my phone with me probably for the first maybe 3 episodes so I can remember their names and locations, because they're new. So we're gonna start off with Jenny, 61, and Sumit, 32. And Jenny is traveling to India for the 3rd time to be with Sumit. So we saw Jenny and Sumit last season, and we saw all their foolishness and all the lies that Jenny endured. This did not change her feelings towards Sumit, because she still wants to go down there and marry him. But I feel like they have the same problems. Number 1, he's still married, so he has not gotten a divorce yet. So you're going down there with the intentions of getting married, but he's not divorced, so make that make sense. And then still his parents don't want anything to do with her. And the part that made me crack up so much is when Jenny's talking to Sumit on video chat, and she's like, oh, if your parents really know about me, tell them, like, I want to see them on the video chat. And Sumit's like, okay, like, give me 2 minutes. And I was just like, Jenny, you know those people don't want to talk to you. Stop it. That was a waste of time, because Sumit comes back like, they don't want to talk. Everyone thinks the relationship is foolish. It's not gonna last. They can't have a family. But, like, if they want to be in love, just let them do them. Like, they're 2 grown people. It's no sense trying to... You can talk about your worries and kind of what you don't want to happen, but at the end of the day, these are 2 grown people. Jenny heard the lies that Sumit told her, and she's still going back to him. The problem I have with Jenny is that Jenny's broke. Jenny has no money. Like zero money. She went down first with like $6,000 of her like 401k, which I guess is like her savings or something. I'm not American, so I don't really know what a 401k is, but I'm assuming like her retirement that she saved through her job. And so she's done that, and I guess she used up most of the money there, and now she wants to apply for the Social Security. But she's still young. She's still not at the retirement age, so she's agreed to take a 30% cut of her not her life income, but her income for the rest of her life. Take a 30% cut to go be with Sumit. This wouldn't have been a problem because to live in India is cheaper, obviously, than to live in the States, but this wouldn't have been a problem if Jenny, like, lived there forever. But she thought she was going to live there forever, and then she ended up coming back. And, like, there was so much drama around it, so she would only be making $625 a month, which is, like, I don't know, like a part-time, like a teenager's part-time job type of salary. That's no amount of money to live on, even living in Florida. And she could kind of live in India for that, but there's no guarantees that she's going to be staying there the whole time. I don't like how some of these men are not working, or some of these people are not working, because Sumit is 32. He's able-bodied. Like, anything, any type of job, you should be bringing some income. There should be no way that I'm leaving everything behind, bringing all my money, and supporting you. Make that make sense? Anyways, so next we have Armando, who's 31, from Mexico, and Kenneth, 57, from Florida. So Kenneth is gonna move with Armando. I love Armando. I think he's so cute. I felt it for him, even though I am not someone who is gay. I just felt like the pain he's feeling towards his family, towards his life, where he never got to live his, I would say best life, but he never got to live in his own skin type of thing. And I hate when people, especially 31 years, having to live for other people type of thing. You're living for your parents. When your parents die, where does that leave you? You're by yourself, so live for yourself. It's a selfish thing to do, but it's something that has to be done, and I think he needs to live for himself. He tried doing the straight thing. It's not him. He's not straight. He was married for a long time. He has a child, I think a 6-year-old child, named Hannah. And he couldn't keep it in. He had to tell his wife, and they broke up, and unfortunately his wife had died soon after. So he is a single father. When he told his parents he was gay, they pretended that like that word doesn't exist, and they've been avoiding the subject ever since. So Armando and Kenneth had met on some kind of like Facebook group about single fathers. They had met up, sparks flew, and now Kenneth is going to move down to Mexico. Kenneth is leaving behind his family. He has 4 kids, but luckily they're grown, and a grandchild. So he's leaving everything behind to be with Armando. I feel like it's a very brave and very courageous move to move somewhere where you know for sure you're not going to be wanted. It's like me moving in a neighborhood or a country that is very openly racist towards the color of my skin, for the one I love. That is very, very brave and courageous, but it couldn't be me. Armando doesn't tell you don't see him tell his parents, but he's not notifying his family until last minute, which I can't understand why these people do everything last minute, because I feel like even my sister alone would have fought me for trying to pull something like that. She would have been like, come again? So he informs his sister that he's moving, and he's moving 4 hours away. He's leaving his business behind, and he's taking his daughter to go live with the man he loves. And his sister takes it pretty well. She understands the damage that she did, the damage that his parents did, their parents did, and she's on board with it. So now he needs to go and tell his parents. So we'll see what happens there, but like his parents are being really, really like immature when like there's nothing's changed about your son. You can love him the same, unless you were thinking about who your son's getting in bed with before. That's none of your business. That has nothing to do with you being a parent and a grandparent. So make that work, parents, or you're gonna lose your son and your granddaughter. Next we have Arriola. She's 28, from New Jersey, and we have Binyam. I'm hoping I pronounce his name. He's 29. He's from Ethiopia. So I'm still trying to discover Arriola. She seemed like, I don't know, things have not been like thought out properly, but she's traveling. She found a man she fell in love with, came back to America. They were married for a long time. They got divorced. She went to go traveling again, found a man, which that's how she gets her men. That's how she finds her men. I can't be mad. And she finds her man in Ethiopia, and 3 months later she finds out she's pregnant. And her goal is to have the baby in Ethiopia because she wants her man to be there for the birth of their son, which is understandable, but there's also a lot of risk she's taking. And I think that she hasn't really thought everything through, especially because she's accustomed to a certain standard of healthcare, and she's not gonna get that there. Not that they don't have like healthcare and they won't be able to take care of her, but when you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle and you're not meeting that expectations, there's usually problems. So I'm glad that she's decided that, or her mom is tagging along to see what are their options and stuff like that, because I think those phone calls and conversations is not enough. And I feel like they don't really mention her man a lot, but I don't think that he's been actively looking for OBGYNs and making sure her birth schedule is laid out and stuff like that. And I feel like they moved very quickly with everything, and they haven't gotten to know each other. And I can understand that he's having problems coming to America, but you tell me like he can't stay here for 3 weeks or a month when she's giving birth for him to see the birth here, and then maybe for her to visit a couple months later. Plus, she has her support system in America, but hopefully she's met his family, she knows what they're like and stuff like that, so his family can be their support system. I feel like she's giving me the vibes of like, oh, it's all gonna work out, and I hate people who are like that. I feel like I don't know how to describe it, but she's one of those people who have an interesting story to tell, but haven't fleshed it out properly. So it's just like, for example, when they were showing everyone talking about like their birthing process, it's like she knows she has the most exciting story to tell, but then she hasn't really thought about a lot of things that go with it. I don't know, she seems very carefree. It's a good and bad thing. And I'm not too sure how her man is personality-wise, and how she has meshed with the Ethiopian culture, and how when she was in Ethiopia, was she a tourist and doing tourist-like things, or was she living like a local type of thing, so she wouldn't get necessarily culture shock on top of it. So we'll see what happens with them. Next, last but not least, we have Brittany, 26, from Florida, and Yasin, 24, from Jordan. So they met in very, very different circumstances. They met through video chat through his sister, and they were attracted to each other, and she went to go visit, and they got engaged when they were there. I feel like this relationship is a little bit superficial because there hasn't been much time to get to know one another. And even the things that Yasin was saying, like, oh, I think she'll like my culture's way of life. I was like, Yasin, first of all, do you not know Miami? She wants to be a rapper. Do you know what she's gonna, and she's not a Christian rapper, so do you know what she's rapping about? It doesn't have to be anything vulgar like sex, but she rapping about taking people's money, getting a bag, and etc., which would entail that she is a hustler or likes to work. And the women in your culture do not like to work, but they are more housewives and they're stay-at-home mothers. So like, what would make you think that you guys are meshing? And I feel like even when Brittany went to go visit him, like, if maybe for a week or two I have to act a certain way or I have to dress a certain way, like, that's not much of a change. And it's not something that would hinder my life. I can do that for 2 weeks and then go about my way with whatever. So it seems a little superficial now. I don't see them lasting long because they don't know each other. I also do not like that Brittany does not tell her dad until a week after, like a week before she has to leave. Like, I don't understand why people are waiting so long. But she seems like a procrastinator. She also not forgets, but doesn't let Asin know that she's actually currently married. She's separated, but they're currently married to a man who, shortly after they got married, he got deported. So she's dealing with trying to divorce someone in a different country who is giving her problems and not, I guess, wanting to get a divorce, or is jealous that she moved on, so he's trying to cause problems. So I don't know how she's going to tell Yasin and his family, because she can't get married twice. But yeah, I can see some problems between them, and I feel like they haven't really gotten to know each other yet. And I guess with her moving there, that's time. That will give them time to get to know each other. So yeah, those are the first 4 couples, aside from Jenny and Sumit. I'm interested in hearing and seeing the other couples play out so far. The previews to the whole season, it doesn't seem very like over the top, like Ed and Rose type of thing. It seems like problems that you would face when you're not prepared to leave to another country, or if you have secrets. So I don't mind being over the top with a reality show, but sometimes it's like you're doing too much, you're reaching. So yeah, so far so good. So that concludes my recap of 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. This is season 2, only season 2, episode 1. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.